welcome to Lecture 5 of the Intro to BitBadges course. In this course, we will go over the claim interface and how you create claims and check criteria in a custom manner. So claims are kind of the background of a lot of different places in the site and of BitBadges development. So for example, like when you create a badge, or let's say you create a list, you can see here, oh, I know that's off-center, but I'll fix that. You can create custom claims to, gate who gets access to the list. You can gate badges based on who gets access or who gets the badges. So you can gate who receives the badge, how they're distributed, and so on. Or you can just use them as a standalone feature. So you can just create standalone claims in the developer portal as you see here. So before we get in, let me just give a brief overview of the interface again. So claims are just a way to think of it as criteria checking as a service. So as you see here, tons of criteria just for example purposes. I know it's a lot, but pretty much you can check any criteria and then offer rewards to do anything if you meet the criteria. So the rewards can be access to a website, access to an event, getting a badge, getting on a list, and so on. So yeah, let's get into a little bit about how you create claims and how to manage them. So if you just go to the developer portal, we'll be using the claim tester tab for this demo. This is just a way for you to build test claims and test them out, as opposed to actually doing stuff for real. If you want to create stuff for real, you can go to, if you want to create standalone ones, you can go to the create my claims. Or if you want it part of like a larger entity, like in a list or badge, it'll be in the respective form like I just showed a minute ago. So as you can see, claims can be completed in a couple ways. So we'll start with standard claims. On-demand claims are, as they sound, you check criteria on demand, but standard will always have a number of uses. So it'll be pretty much every time a criteria or a claim is successfully completed, we'll increment the number of uses. And this is non-deletable. For all standard claims, you must have a certain amount of a max amount of claims. So I mean, it can be anything. You can even kind of display it as an unlimited. So as you see here on the right, you can display it as no limit to the user, but behind the scenes it'll still track stuff. So there are 3 different completion methods. We'll start with the insight one. Basically, insight, they would see something like this and a claim button, and they would walk you through the process. So as you see here, it'll be on the respective page for your claim or your collection or whatever. It'll walk you through the process like this. You'll have a claim button, and it'll walk you through creating the claim and actually successfully completing the claim as you see here. Let me just refresh and we'll start a new claim. But with Insight, with the Insight completion method, there are a ton of natively supported apps and integrations. And so yeah, I won't go into depth about configuring each one. It'll walk you through the process of each. So for example, you can restrict to certain addresses. You can add custom instructions, let me just add a password, for example. You can add it, and then it'll be added to the claim, and it'll be an additional criteria to check. One thing that you have to keep in mind with Insight claims is whether you want to have the user signed into BitBadges or not. Basically, if they're signed into BitBadges, this kind of proves that they own the address that they're claiming with. Otherwise, they can just specify any address that they want. You can reorder the claims. You can add custom metadata, so it stuff like this, and it'll display the custom metadata as opposed to the defaults. Default parameters. You can add custom icons, custom images, and so on. So see here, it'll display it as such. And you can mix and match any of these as you wish. So you can add all of them, you can add one of them. It's just whatever complex claim flow you want to build. I do want to note that some of these are universal. So for example, if you're implementing if you want to integrate a specific app, but there's not a specific plugin for that app, you might be able to, just implement it through maybe unique claim codes because, you don't need, for claim codes, you don't need a specific app. You can just assign claim codes in that app to users and then just use the claim code in the site. Or, a lot of apps are email-based, so you don't actually need a specific integration or plugin for that specific app. You can just use the emails from that app. So we try and design it in a way that it is, extendable and kind of supports every single use case. A common theme you might see is just get creative. Even if you don't have a specific integration for your app or plugin, you can probably use one of the existing ones somehow in a roundabout manner. So yeah. So lots of external integrations. If you have any recommendations for what we should add, what you want to see supported, let us know. Over time, we also support community-built plugins. So we'll get into that in the last course. Basically, you can build your own plugins. You can even add like certain webhooks to implement your own custom logic, or customize the plugin completely yourself via the plugins tab in the developer portal. So you can mix and match everything as needed. You can just check criteria however you want. So that is a brief overview of the insight approach. The next is Zapier. So if you're unfamiliar with Zapier, they are a service an automation workflow service that has over 7,000 app integrations that you can pretty much just customize and connect any two apps that you want. So let's go here. So with Zapier, some of the plugins are not compatible. You might not see all of them here. But what you can do is, let me go to the auto create Zap thing, and you can, create custom criteria checks here and auto complete claims on behalf of the user. So if we just do something like, I don't know, when you receive a certain email, you can configure to complete a claim in BitBadges for a specific account. The whole process is completely customizable up to you. I'll leave it as an exercise for you to just explore all the possibilities that Zapier offers. You can also do it in the reverse manner, so you can kind of poll for claims using the BitBadges Zapier integration. So you can trigger, and upon a new claim success, you can execute certain actions. Like you can change the app to maybe, if you want to, upon successfully claiming, you can assign a new Discord role or something. We do have support for that inside, but that's just an example. And you can configure it however you want. It's no code by default, and just pretty much any claim criteria or action or trigger that you can think of, probably possible with Zapier and the interface. So it'll walk you through how to create the Zap, how to do anything. And lastly, we have the you can customize as you want with the BitBadges API. So you can do custom implementations, autocomplete claims on behalf of users. Just maybe if you want to claim directly in your site, you might autocomplete instead of having them directly to the BitBadges site and claiming. So as you can see here, it just uses the API and SDK. Pretty simple interface, just all customized with your the plugins and inputs that you configure. So next we have the rewards section. So if you add a reward in the claim interface, you might see something like something above the configuration that just kind of explains what you can do with the reward, or what you get for successfully claiming. So for example, maybe you get the member role on Discord or something, and that'll be displayed with the claim itself. There's customization options in the site. So for example, you might be able to gate the URL, like, you have a Discord invite link. I know it's not a proper URL, but then when users successfully claim, they will be shown this button that they can go to the secret link. You can also gate secret content, as you see here. You click this, it'll show them the secret content if they successfully claim, as you see here. Or you can even do like unique claim codes for to help you implement different functionality yourself. So this claim code will be given to them, as you see here. Well, I don't have any yet because I haven't claimed, but they can use that claim code to, kind of serve as proof of claim on your site or wherever you want to implement your rewards. You can also, just use the API and publicly query who claimed, what their claim number was, what addresses, but that might also have the need for you to authenticate that the user actually owns the address. So a lot of different customization options for rewards, and pretty much you implement it however you want. And lastly, we can just add specific metadata. Let me actually add the real name. And this all just customizes how it will be displayed on the site. So you can show it in search results, you can add a category, you can add everything, just customize it however you want. So if we create the claim, you can see here, in this case, the claim is automatically triggered because we selected the API option. But if let's go back, and if we just create a normal claim, they might see something like this in the site and then just be walked through the form. We update as needed here in the My Claims. These are just test claims, so it doesn't have all the features, but in the My Claims for actual real created claims, you as the creator or manager can see, what errors have been found, what plugins are failing. You can see the different the actual JSON behind it and so on. So yeah, claims are a very powerful interface. Overall, as you can see, you can mix and match as needed, and they are applicable, like I said, to different areas of the site. So anything from, signing in with BitBadges, you might have a claim attached to the sign-in process, and they must successfully claim to receive access. You might have it as a gated access to a website or a badge distribution based on it. Super customizable, super integratable into all parts of BitBadges development.